In the ashes of a world war, empires crumbled, and new lines were drawn in the sand. For Syria, the promise of freedom after centuries of Ottoman rule was a fleeting dream, quickly replaced by a new master, the French Mandate. But from the rugged hills of the north, a voice of defiance would rise, a name that would echo through the generations as a symbol of unwavering resistance. This is the story of Ibrahim Hanano and the birth of a rebellion that would shape the destiny of a nation. The year is 1919. The Treaty of Versailles has carved up the Middle East, handing Syria and Lebanon to France, to the Syrian people, who had fought alongside the Allies for their independence. It was a betrayal of the highest order. The French flag flying over Damascus was not a symbol of liberation, but of a new occupation. Discontent simmered, a quiet rage that needed only a spark to ignite a wildfire. That spark was a man named Ibrahim Hanano. Born into a prominent landowning family in Aleppo, Hanano was not a natural-born revolutionary. He was a scholar, a lawyer, a man of intellect and principle. He had studied law in Istanbul, witnessing the decline of the Ottoman Empire firsthand. He returned to Syria with a burning desire to see his homeland sovereign and free. When the French arrived, his path was clear. He couldn't stand by as foreign powers dictated the future of his people. Hanano retreated to his home village, Kafr Takharim, near the Turkish border. It was here, in the heart of the northern mountains, that the rebellion began. He wasn't a general with an army, he was a leader with an idea. He rallied local landowners, village chiefs, and ordinary farmers, uniting them under a single banner of national liberation. His charisma was magnetic, his conviction unshakable. He spoke not of conquest, but of rights, of dignity, of a Syria for Syrians. What became known as the Hanano Revolt was a masterclass in guerrilla warfare, using the rugged terrain of Jabal Zavia as their fortress. Hanano's men, armed with little more than old rifles and fierce determination, launched relentless attacks on French convoys, garrisons, and supply lines. They were phantoms in the mountains, striking with precision and disappearing into the landscape. They established a shadow government, collecting taxes and administering justice, creating a liberated zone in the heart of French-controlled territory. The French, a modern military superpower, were baffled and infuriated. They poured troops and resources into crushing the rebellion. But Hanano's network was resilient. For nearly 2 years, from 1919 to 1921, they held out. Hanano even traveled to Ankara to seek support from the fledgling Turkish national movement, a bold diplomatic move that showed his vision extended beyond the battlefield. He was fighting for Syria's place on the world stage. The rebellion's impact on the Syrian people was profound. It was a beacon of hope, proof that resistance was possible. Civilians provided food, shelter, and intelligence to the rebels, becoming an integral part of the struggle. They endured harsh French reprisals, their villages burned, their livelihoods destroyed. Yet their support for Hanano rarely wavered. He was their leader, the embodiment of their national aspiration. Ultimately, the sheer military might of the French proved overwhelming. Facing superior numbers and weaponry, and with his Turkish allies making a separate peace with France, Hanano was forced to disband his forces in the summer of 1921. He fled into exile, was later captured, and put on trial by the French. The trial was meant to be a spectacle, a warning to any who dared defy French rule. But Hanano turned the courtroom into his stage, and a powerful, 3-day defense. He argued not for his own life, but for the legitimacy of his cause. He asserted that he was not a criminal, but a patriot fighting an illegal occupation. His eloquence and conviction swayed the court and the public. In a stunning verdict, he was acquitted. Though his armed rebellion was over, Ibrahim Hanano's fight was not. He continued to be a leading figure in the Syrian nationalist movement, advocating for independence through political means until his death in 1935. His legacy is not one of military victory, but of inspiring a nation to believe in itself. The Hanano Revolt was the first major uprising against the French Mandate, setting the stage for the Great Syrian Revolt and the eventual independence of Syria. Ibrahim Hanano remains a national hero, a reminder that true leadership comes not from power, but from principle. His story is a testament to the idea that even in the face of impossible odds, the fight for freedom is never in vain. It's a story etched into the very identity of modern Syria, a chapter of courage that continues to inspire. Thank you for watching. If you found this story as powerful as we did, please like, share, and subscribe for more chapters from history.